Hello, and welcome back. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Erin.
And this is the Getaways Podcast.
Hi.
Hello. Last moments of summer.
Today we're going to talk about our Italian summer, which we believe everybody should have an Italian summer.
At least once in your life, right?
So we'll talk about ours this year. Just a little summer recap.
All right, so we should start off by saying that because we were in the Netherlands and we were going to Puglia,
And we have a dog.
it was a very long trip.
Long drive. We won't be doing that drive again.
Yeah, so we left. So we took what, 3 nights spending.
Yes, but really 2 nights because our third night was in our actual location.
Right. Okay. So the first day we went from Rotterdam to Nuremberg,
That was a long ass drive.
It was. It's a super cute town. We've been there before, but we stayed a little bit outside we were in a Mercure there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was very family friendly.
It was like way too many children for my own taste, but perfectly fine. And we were really just like eating and sleeping there.
Yeah.
So it was fine. And then the next day we went from Nuremberg to Bologna.
Another long drive.
And another very kid heavy.
Yeah, we booked this hotel. I think we booked it because it was cheap. We did our Italian summer, the cheap version. We'd
like to call it the budget.
Yeah. We've decided maybe our splurge vacations aren't working for us anymore. So this hotel was like 80 euros a night, which is great. It's right outside Bologna. We had stayed near that before and we really liked the hotel. It had a giant Olympic-sized pool.
Like giant.
And so we were like, what could go wrong?
Well, and tons of facilities. It also had like
tennis courts
and volleyball courts and right next to a mall, which sounds weird, but it was like you wouldn't know it was there unless you walked around to the back, but you could like walk to everything.
One of the most beautiful co-ops I've ever seen. Co-op or coop, however you say it.
Yeah. Yeah, but the service not so hot at the restaurant.
The service was just bizarrely bad.
Yeah. But inexpensive.
And we didn't go in the pool because there were a lot of I think people like families, this was their destination.
Right. Which is all good. And if that's what you're looking for, sign up.
Yeah.
Man.
But Dylan was in Sardinia with his friends, so we weren't looking for the family friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
Down.
And I had calls that night too. So it was like, I also kind of needed, all I cared about was good internet, eating, and being relatively quiet so I could do the call.
Yeah.
Quiet. It was quiet. Yeah.
And it was clean. The beds were weird, but...
Yeah. And then from Bologna, we went to
Ostuni. Another long drive.
But so worth it. So my niece was flying in the next morning. And so we stayed in...
a Masseria.
Yeah. Just at the base of like the famous part of Ostuni, right?
And it was old farm, I guess, that had... How many units do you think there were? Like 6?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were 6 because there was 3 on the bottom and 3 on the top.
So there were like 6 units. They all had outdoor space. We had this giant terrace.
Yeah.
The places underneath us all had like these fenced in like little yards with a gazebo to eat. They had a pool there. Mm-hmm. They had this beautiful garden.
With like fruit trees and like a little kind of labyrinthy vibe.
It was phenomenal. And each unit had a kitchen and a dining table. It was so nice. I want to go back. And
very, like, so much character.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like you were stepping back in time, but, like, in the coolest of ways. I mean, it had air conditioning, it had all the modern conveniences, but the actual structure was the original, and which is not that unusual in Italy, but this in particular, like, there was a fireplace in the little dining area where there was, like, a rack where you could cook your food. Like, it was crazy.
I think Masserias are the way I want to go next time we go to Puglia, because you get that vibe, but you also get like really kind of almost luxurious staying for not a very expensive price tag.
But Ostuni in general is called the White City, right?
For a reason.
And it is literally...
It should also be called the Slippery City.
Well, but I mean, if you looked at your car...
I don't know what's up with Puglia.
And being slippery.
Is so slippery.
Yeah. But if you look at your car after we loaded the luggage,
my red car was white.
Yes,
all the interior was white.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, but it is so beautiful and so stunning. And we had been there before,
Mm-hmm.
both to the beach and to the city. We did not go to the beach this
The
time. We
beach
were
is
just,
fantastic
yeah,
there,
the beach
though.
is like really large, expansive sand, beautiful water. But we were just in the actual city this time. And we had dinner up there and did like a walk around. I got the best dresses for 15
Oh,
euro.
yeah.
Like great shopping, great food. And the city is just
The
beautiful.
city's beautiful. But I'm not kidding when I say it's slippery. Like, wear tennis shoes, because
Yeah.
I was wearing like flip flops. No, I was wearing slides, like,
Yeah.
and I was slipping all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then the next morning, Aaron went and picked up my niece from the airport, and then we did a tuk-tuk tour.
Tuk-tuk tour.
Yeah. But it is...
I love a tuk-tuk tour. I love a tuk-tuk tour. Lisa does not love a tuk-tuk tour.
Well, okay, so here's the good and the bad of a tuk-tuk tour. You get to get information that you wouldn't have had before. Our particular guide did not really speak English.
No.
And did not talk loud enough for you guys to hear. And I was squeezed up next to him. And it's hot.
Yes, but we
It's
got to see
hot.
parts of Ostuni we never would have saw, like when he took us
No,
back to...
I know, and I'm glad we did it. But did I say it was hot? Because
Yeah,
it was hot, and I was squeezed in next to a man that I don't know, and I was hot and squished.
Who was talking French Italian to you?
Oh yeah, no, he was hilarious because he was like, "Is it easier for me to speak French?" And I was like, "Oh, whatever, whatever, I'll figure it out." And so then he would go half French and half Italian, and then at one point you go, "Are you speaking French or Italian?" And he goes, "Both. We talking both." And he said that was like the only thing he said in English. I was like, okay. But no, it was definitely good. And, and it's kind of a nice thing to, especially because we were only there for a very limited amount of time, to see things quickly and comprehensively.
Yeah. He also gave us the tip of where to have lunch.
Yeah.
Which was so good.
Yeah. We had
And
nice
so
lunch.
off the beaten path.
Yeah. It was like kind of in a cave.
Yeah.
And really reasonable.
Super reasonable for like 3 courses.
Yeah. Yeah. Including wine.
Yeah. Yeah. Including wine.
And I think it was like 20 euro, right?
A piece. Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah. So
Plus we got tomorrow.
Yeah. We had a great lunch and walk around. And then we headed to our
residence for the week with her niece. And that was in Otranto, which we had never been that far south.
Right.
And we had never been to Otranto.
Right.
I love Otranto.
Yeah.
I love everything about Otranto.
I think it's also like just a great base because you can definitely spend a week there as we did, but you could also like do total day shoots if the weather was better. We had a little bit of a weather issue when we were there.
Yeah. Because you could get to Ostuni if you wanted to in about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Lecce is super close, which
like,
Lecce is...
like 30 minutes, right? For 40 minutes?
Yeah. Lecce is... I love Lecce. It's not on the sea, but it is a beautiful town.
Yeah, it's cute.
And we'd been there before.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you have anything to say about the beaches of Otranto?
Well, Otranto, a lot of it's on a cliff. So it's just kind of climbing down into the water. Like there's not a beach per se. And then there's a little bit of beach on the opposite side. But no, I mean, I wouldn't go there to like sunbathe and lie on the beach.
No.
But it's there's a few beach clubs in Otranto, but for the most part, you get in the water.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
It's not really a hang out on the sand kind of place.
Which is totally fine for me.
Which is, we never do unless we have pay for beds.
Yeah.
But the water's beautiful. The town is so charming and cute and great food. There's also a castle, which Megan and I took a tour of, which had a bunch of art in it, a bunch of history. It's also just stunning. And then, a lot of times in these little villages and in these little cities, it's all cement and beach, right? There's no sort of like grassy area or like big place for the 4-legged to run around. And this was perfect because there was the whole like moat area around the castle was green and grassy and a big trail going through. And so it was like the best of all worlds because there was a nice place for us to walk. There was also a place on the beach where he could swim. And then, the city, which was
slippery
and beautiful.
Slippery.
Okay, people are going to think that like they have to wear body armor.
You just we would at Otranto Vecchio, is that what it was called?
The restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would sit there and watch people come around that corner and
Yeah.
slip.
Yeah.
We didn't see anybody fall, but it's definitely one of those you lose your footing.
Yeah, for sure.
So we rented this amazing location Airbnb in Otranto. I mean, the location, you couldn't beat it. We were right on the cliff overlooking the sea. I think it used to be part of the castle or something.
It used to be part of something.
And it was freaking weird. Like there is some weird stuff that went on in that place at one point.
Yes, and we are going to save the craziest of stories about that place for October when we are
doing our Halloween haunted stuff.
Yeah, but there's I'm just going to plant that seed for you that there was some absolutely crazy things in that place.
Bizarre. But on top of that, the location was great. The space was great.
Huge.
But everything else is a big old fail. And
about the
house.
Yeah.
The kitchen wasn't clean, so it didn't feel cookable. So we ate out every meal, which we usually don't do.
Right.
It was a beautiful building that was not maintained.
Right.
And we were right on the seawall, but there was like a walkway between us that you really, other than to get the view and a couple restaurants, there was no reason for people to be there, but people walked by all the time and the door was just glass. And like, it's like we were a zoo or something. Like people would like put their face up and look in and take selfies into our apartment. And we'd just be sitting at the table waving. And
well, I think a lot of people were curious because they thought it was going to be like this fantastic mansion-y place, and then they would see Rex and they would freak out about Rex. Like so many people taking pictures of Rex and he barked at a lot of them.
The place was weird.
The place was weird.
It was weird. It didn't take away from being there.
No, it was a story, which you're going to hear a lot more about that.
And the lady, I will say, the person that we rented from, it was a bit chaotic getting in. So it kind of set the vibe as a little chaotic getting into the place. Yeah. But we got in and it was great. The town is great. The food is great.
Yeah, we had really, really, really good food. And I'm sure we'll have a list on the website of like some of our favorite places there. But I will say that usually I don't like eating out a ton because, I mean, I like it every once in a while, but I like to sort of know exactly what's going into things, even in Italy when I know it's all clean. But it was so fun to like try so many places and to have so much seafood and different.
It was not expensive.
Yeah. No, I mean, no meal for like one person was more than like 25 euro.
And being in the Netherlands, I forgot what good pizza was. And we had a beast of a pizza there.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was like $1. No, it wasn't $1, but it was like 10 euro.
So then we did a wine tasting there.
Yes, which was so good. And I wish we would have known how much food we were going to get and we wouldn't have had lunch.
Right. But really like nice, obviously family owned vineyard with like an agritourism.
And they had donkeys.
They had donkeys.
Rex went with us.
Yeah. And then we did an olive mill tour.
Olive mill tour tasting. It was great. Megan found that one, right?
Yeah, she did. And it was interesting because I didn't know really what that was going to mean. And from working, like knowing people that work on vineyards and make olive oil, like was like, oh, I'm not sure what they're going to add to that. Well, a lot is the answer to that, because they showed us she took us into the ground of where it was like the 1400s.
Yeah.
And it was when they were, doing the mills down below. So if they were invaded, nobody would see them. And like the process of the grinding and the spinning. And I mean, it was super interesting. And we also learned a lot about the trees.
We did. I'm gonna write a whole post about it, I think, because I want to list, there's some disease going around just in this region of Puglia. I've got it all written down, but olives were the main producing fruit in this region. And that's where a lot of their money came from. And in this particular region, it's olive Salento, right?
Yeah.
Some bacteria or diseases started infecting their olive trees, and they've lost like the majority of all their old olive trees. And so they've had to replant, and they've lost a lot of their income because of this.
Right.
And it's weird because you go up to the next region in Puglia and it's not there.
Well, and you can see it. I mean, once you like are aware of it, you can see how many dead trees and groves there are when you're in this area.
Because these trees are hundreds of years old.
Right. And then when we were in, like thinking back to being in Estuni, remember when we were up and we were over like looking down, like it was just all beautiful green olive trees. And it's only an hour and a half separate. So it's weird.
I think there's probably a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about what happened, but something happened. And so they've all had to replant. And the first year you don't really get olives, and then it's every other year for a while. So they're really struggling in this region of Puglia. And so I want to list all the producers where you can order to America, because the olive oil is fantastic.
Well, and I think what I was struck by the most about our guide was that she got tears in her eyes when she was talking about it. I mean, this isn't like a job. This is the history of this area. And these families all got their livelihood from these trees that are now dead. Yeah. And it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
So they're rebuilding, but I am going to put up a list of like local producers that will ship to America, because I think it's important to support people that are in need. And some of the best olive oil.
Well, I mean, it's not like you're giving charity. Like you're getting a really good product.
Yeah. Okay, so that was our Estuni. So then we drove from Estuni to a little village called Sava, and we were staying in an Airbnb right outside Sava, which was on a vineyard.
Yeah. I mean, a farm, like more than just a vineyard. I mean, there was olive groves. There was probably 5 or 6 different areas of food.
Yeah, like extensive gardens.
Yeah. And then
like I would have thought for a restaurant.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
And then a huge chicken coop with like 10 chickens?
Yeah, galline, which I don't know what the difference is between chickens and galline, but because they're skinnier. But I love to feed a chicken.
Well, and they were very social.
And their eggs were much smaller.
Yeah. No,
we got a couple big ones. We got a couple big ones.
But it was the property was absolutely enormous.
It was a little remote.
It was buggy because it was a little remote, but it was nice. I mean, it was a nice change of pace from people peeking in every 5 seconds into see what we were doing to not seeing anyone.
Yeah. Every morning the farmer would come to the house and groom the gardens, and he would leave figs and whatever vegetables of the day. So we never bought produce at the grocery store. No. We only had to buy meat and pasta.
They also left us some wine that they make and some olive oil from their trees.
And we brought the wine home and we hadn't opened it yet. And so we opened it for dinner one night, and we were very surprised because we thought it was going to be like a red wine from Puglia. It was not. But it's delicious, but it was a sweet wine.
Sweet wine, yeah. It's definitely dessert wine.
So good, though. And the olive oil is fantastic. And it was made from the trees right outside our window, which was really cool. I mean, we found some good stuff around there.
We did.
The most beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
That side, I think, has better beaches than the Otranto side.
Yeah.
I like those beaches. That they're very much more Maldive-y.
Well, that is where, so Rex's dog walker is from that area. And she was like, oh, you have to go to this beach that's like, that we call it the Maldives of Puglia. And it was pretty close. I mean, it was really beautiful.
It was Polsano.
And
Marina di Polsano.
Yeah. And
we ended up going back a lot.
And then on our very last day, we got a cabana there, which was so nice because then you could just lie around and go in the water as much as you want. And
their beach club's fantastic.
The restaurant there was great.
So good.
They have like a hot food section and then like a sandwichy area. But no, it was great good. And very well run.
Yeah.
And the beach was beautiful. And there was a rocky area where I would go out and snorkel every day, which was really nice. And I think I have some underwater stuff that maybe came out or maybe didn't that maybe you guys could see. One of my favorite things about that house and that area and that part of the vacation was our wine night.
It was our first night there, yeah.
So it was like a celebration of wine. I think it was called 5 Stars.
Uh-huh.
And
Cinque Stelle.
And then you go in and it was, I think, €10 for glass, a necklace to hang your glass in, and then 3 tastings. And then there was just all sorts of distributors and vineyards
Producers, yeah.
giving tastings of their wine. There was a whole section where it was like, food trucks isn't the right thing, because it was more like homemade food for offering. We bought some cheeses from a fresh dairy farm that was right there. There was people selling arts and crafts,
Yeah.
and like kids' toys, and
It was really cute and quaint.
and again, like I feel like every single person in that town
They had a
was
band
there.
playing in the
yeah.
square.
Yeah.
It was cute. And then we ate at the pizza, the town pizza place.
Yeah, which was good.
It was really good. We
Yeah.
ate there twice.
We ate there twice, yeah. But yeah, no, I love that kind of, because it also feels just so Italian summer to have these events outside where everybody's out and happy and you know, engaging and eating on the streets. And, you know, it's just is so, because like even when we stayed the first time we were in Puglia at San Giovanni, Torre San Giovanni, like that's how that big piazza was where all the restaurants are.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, the kids are all playing and running around, and everybody's, you know, eating, drinking, and having a good time.
Beach towns in Italy in the summer are just, they're very special. It's a special vibe. It's just good.
Yeah.
That's why everybody needs an Italian summer.
Yep.
And so that was our trip. And then we drove back and we decided to make it a little shorter and not do 8-hour days, because that just, our bodies don't work being in the car for 8 to 10 hours a day. They just don't. Maybe we're old, but they don't work. So we split it up a little shorter to like 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah, where did we go? Oh, we went to Bologna.
We went to Bologna first, and that was about a 6.5 hour drive.
Because we kind of moved up a little bit.
Yeah, and we had no idea, but we were looking at rooms and we were looking at stuff that was like under 100 euros. And Lisa said, "Oh, this one looks good. It kind of looks like a little castle, little villa." And so we booked it. It was like, what was 65 euros?
Yeah, I mean, it was stupid.
And it was a villa, and it had 23 rooms and a huge restaurant and a beautiful pool.
And the grounds were stunning.
And the rooms were great.
Yeah.
Like, amazing. Like, we will stay there every time we go to Bologna.
Yeah.
And then we drove from Bologna to Munich, and you found really good hiking around, or like walks around there.
Yeah.
This Munich, it was Munich, but it was definitely the suburbs. It is so green. Like, the Netherlands is green and there's parks everywhere. Munich has a park on every corner, like a giant park.
Well, and I was laughing because one of the walks I took Rex on, you said, "Oh, did you find anything?" And I go, "Well, I couldn't stay out of a park because like, literally you would walk 10 feet and there'd be the entrance to another one. And then you would like, it was bananas."
And we had the best like Bavarian dinner that night at like a real just German Bavarian restaurant.
Yeah.
And they were so kind.
They were really, really nice. And it very much felt like the locals were hanging out there. But yeah, no, it was very traditional and very delicious.
So good. And then we got up and we headed to Frankfurt, and we stayed at the same hotel by the Frankfurt airport. It's another Mercure, which we tend to stay at a lot. It was like 70 euros, but we love this hotel.
Yeah. And again, has great walking around it. So, because, you know, like when you're driving and when you're in the car, even if you were using that hotel as a base for the airport, like travel requires a lot of sitting, right? So you want to move either before or after. And both of those places were like such great places to get out and get fresh air and stretch your legs and just sort of, you know, have that release, which I think is an important thing because a lot of hotels, like it's just all cement around.
Yeah. And both hotels, you're within 30 minutes of the center by public transportation, less by car. So
anyway, that's just sort of what's worked for us. And it's also just quicker to get on and off the freeway and like keep sort of moving. But the point of all of that is there are great places to be found just outside of the city too. If you want to save a little bit of money, you want to be in a little bit of a greener place and have different options.
So then the next day we drove home and we made it home, and now we're done. Summer's over.
And now we plan for our fall break.
Yes.
It's a lot going on. It's going to be a busy fall, but we'll keep you updated on everything.
And we'll be back every Monday.
We will. And let us know if there's anything you want to hear, any comments. We'd love any reviews as long as they're all good.
Check out the website, www.thegetaways.com with a Z. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.